Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Artist Mandy, and I am coming at you today with one Saturday morning. I'm so excited. So grab your warm drink. I have my lovely coffee here in my mug that my son bought me for Mother's Day that says trust in the process, which I love, but he loved it because of the color. He thought that this was definitely a me color, and he was absolutely right. And yeah, let's just get into it. It's been a week, that's for sure. I am just trying to gain my bearings here, and I'm just trying to decide how I want to start this video. And so I think I'm just going to start with the journal that I have been working in. And this was what I considered my morning pages, but I have since just made it my daily journal. So it started out like a lot of the journals. It started out, with just writing, but quickly morphed because I think that I really love being able to draw and use my ephemera in my daily journal. And that was the biggest thing of the artist's way that I struggled with, was just doing long form writing without any decoration. I missed it so much. So just being able to come back and do this again, it feels really great. I have a lot to say about the artist's way, and I'm definitely going to do a video now that I have had a couple months to reflect. But I don't know. I have a lot of opinions and a lot of thoughts. I'm really glad I finished it, but I also think that I think that I would not do it again, and I will talk about why. But yeah, I am definitely going through this. I have a new journaling challenge that I'm doing, and I say challenge in quotes because I'm not going to put that pressure on myself to do it perfect, but I do that. So this is the one that I am using the most. This is a sterling ink with Tomoe River paper. I have no idea which Tomoe River paper this is. It doesn't seem to have bleed through, but I don't know if it's older Tomoe River, newer. I have no idea, but it's really nice, and I like these covers that they use. I don't know, it's a thicker kind of faux leather. I really like that. I love that. I wish I could find this to make my own journals, because I am looking into making my own journals just because it's fun, for no other reason. I'm also working in this B6, just playing. It's got a lot of random stuff, and I think we've seen this before, but this is my Leuchtturm, and I always go back to Leuchtturm, and every time I think, oh man, I want a journal in my Leuchtturm again. And I've had a couple journals that I'm using for my Leuchtturm. I have a handwriting practice journal, and I have a big B5, but I don't have just my daily journal. And I think after this one is, I think, 250 pages. After this one, I'm going to go back to a Leuchtturm just to see. But I do like this. I like the size. I like the paper. I like it a lot. And then these are Nolty planners. I am looking at different options for when I get back into the classroom in January, because I like to have a place that's just dedicated for my lesson plans and notes, or things that I have to email parents or things like that. So this is this Nolty planner. And so it has your monthly spread, and I'm not going to go to 12 because I am using this. I am actually using this. I am ahead of time bulk recording ink vent and color vent, just in case you wanted to know. Only the people on these videos, these Saturday mornings, my lovely people, you'll know that I bulk recorded, but it's okay because I need to for myself. But I am using this just to test out the paper and see what I like. But this is what it looks like. So it's got your monthly, and then it's got these, and I'm not sure yet if I like this setup or not, or if I want a different setup. So I'm playing with this one. These ones on Amazon, because I do like the Nolty notebooks, these ones on Amazon because they were $20.25. I got for, I think, $7. And I know that I can use the paper. Like, I'm already using this one, but I know I can use the paper and I'm playing with it. And I can just do random stuff in this. But it does have this stuff in the front. Where is that? It does have this yearly plan in the front. I don't use these, but maybe I would use them if I had this for a full year. So then this is the other one that I have from Nolty, and this is the one I think that I want, but I don't know what they call this. I want this one. Maybe in an A5 size though, but this one is like, it has your monthly plan, which is really nice, and then a plan list. But what I like is that it's got your month, and it's a Monday start. I really like that it's a Monday start because I don't use my lesson plans and things for school. I don't use Saturday and Sunday. So I like that it's really just focused on Mondays and Monday through Friday, and then this is blacked out because I just ignore that. So I really like that because it's got all the calendars right in the front, so I can have those. And then it's set up kind of like the weeks, which I like because it's set up where you have your 2 boxes and then all of this space down here where I can, use this to just do lessons. Because this year I'm teaching middle school. I've hopped from grade to grade, age to age, subject to subject. I'm teaching middle school. I'm teaching English, which is right in my wheelhouse because I have a degree in English. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to actually be teaching my subject and my field. And I'm teaching 6th and 7th grade. So I only will have 1 or 2 lessons that I have to teach. And I really just have to follow the curriculum. Yes, but I get to play. I love it. And so I'll be able to say this day is when the test is, this day, because we, have district testing and everything, but this is where I can do this. And this is a lot nicer for at least middle school. Elementary school, there's one other Nolty that I can show you, and that is this one. This one is an A5 Nolty, and this one is an April start, so this would get me through March, which is nice. This is why I grabbed this one, because I thought, okay, I can actually use it for 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, but I don't like it, so I'm going to send it back because I actually just ordered it this week. I'm going to send it back to Amazon. I don't know if you know a retailer that actually sells Nolty that isn't Amazon, I'd love to know because I would much rather support a business than Amazon, but I do like these planners. So this one, if you open it up, it has your month, which I like, and I like that it has the tabs already here. I don't like adding my own tabs, but I also like that it has the tab that is there and is kind of, I don't know, what do you call this, etched out, because I know that the cousin doesn't do that. But this one is set up where it has 7 to 24, so it has 7 in the morning. And if I was still teaching elementary school right now, this would be perfect because our lessons are broken down by time. And so I'd be able to use this. So this is where I'm like, oh, this would be perfect. But I'm not teaching elementary school, where this I don't think actually works as great for middle school the way that this one does. And maybe I could just repurpose this and change the dates, but I know myself and I don't think I would actually do that. I don't think I would do that at all, unless this is an April start. I think this is a January start. Yeah, it's a December, January start of 2025. So I want to find this one. This one was again $7, and I am definitely going to use the paper. I really like the Nolty paper. So yeah, this is not going to work, which is fine, but it came with its own little cover. I love this cover. So it's like that. It's these paper notebooks with a cover. I love this greige color or greige cover. I know you can buy the cover separate because I saw on Amazon you can, but yeah, so I want this one. I don't know what this one is. I'm going to have to figure that out and then put it on there. But I was really excited to be able to try the Nolty papers because I have been doing my, let me pull it out here. I've been doing my ink explorations in this. This is my Nolty log per page form, and this paper is what I did. This is what I did my 30 inks 30 days for September in, and I have a full like talk through of that. But I started again in November, and I was going to try to do 30 inks in 30 days. I was doing it a little different because I have been cleaning out all my pens so I can just really start over. So I was using a pen and saying, oh, do I love this pen? Do I not love this pen? And so I was really getting some writing in. And yeah, so these are just, oh, I love this color, this Baroque, Octopus Baroque Caviar. I want to put it back in the pen. I used all this. I actually used this for the full day that day. But so this is what I have been doing. And I haven't finished. So I got to, where did I get to? I got to the 7th, I think. And then the 8th I started. So I haven't finished this, but this is in an Asvine V126. So yeah, I really like this paper. It is, I think it's 52 GSM if I remember correctly, or it is very thin. It has that crinkly sound that Tomoe River paper has. And it works about the same. So like you can see, if you're doing big, thick swatches, it's going to bleed through. I don't know what that is. That's not that ink. But it's going to bleed through a little bit. But you can still use this page. And there's not really, when you're writing, there's not really any like go through. So I'm excited to use this as a use one of the planners in this paper because I really like the paper. And yeah, I think I'm just excited. I just need to get the right one, which I know which one I want now. So yeah, I will send this one back because it's still usable by somebody else. I literally just got it. And then maybe if somebody sends me, hey, this company sells Nolty, I would be so excited because I don't know. Yeah, but I'm very excited about Nolty. Okay, that was my planners. I am also still using for home planners wise. I'm still using this. I think I showed this, but it's nice to be able to set it up and set it up daily because sometimes I went from October 19th and then November. I also messed up on this, so this is not working, but I really like that. There's some stuff in there that I just kind of don't want to share, so I'm just kind of showing you. But I wanted to talk about this, Perils and Princesses. I talked on my last video that I was going over to my friend's house to play this RPG, Perils and Princesses. And so I actually pulled out my book so you can see that you create a princess and then you fight. And I'm very excited. And you like go on adventures and everything. And so it's really, really fun. There were 4 of us besides my friend. And so she was running it, which they call a game master. One second. Okay. So she was called a game master. And I decided to use, she had all these beautiful notebooks set up on the table. And so I was using all my notes in there. And then this is my fancy journal of like what happens. So I got this sticker from one of the other players. This is the first time I met her and we all clicked. So it was, all of us are friends with my friend who was hosting, and her name is Sarah. I'm sure she's fine with me saying that. So my friend Sarah is hosting this, and then I was invited along with my good friend Becky. So Becky and I came together, and then there were 2 other girls, and those 2 had been best friends forever. So that we were all friends with Sarah, and so Sarah set this up and thought that the 4 of us would get along really well. She was so correct. We all had so much fun, and we did this one kind of as a trial run, and we already have our next one set up. We were so excited and having so much fun. So one of the other girls that I just met there during this gave this to all of us. She had a whole bunch, and we're all stationery addicts. And so I'm very excited. And I was kind of like, hey, check out fountain pens, you know. So my friend Becky is my friend I talk about a lot, who has just gotten into fountain pens. She is on a TWSBI kick right now. So, you know, she's new. Welcome, welcome. So maybe in the future she will be at shows with me if we go to a pen show. But I used my Sticky Club stickers, and I went, the really amazing thing about this right here is I had packed these, and these are by, what is the name? I am going to slaughter her name because she is French, and I am terrible at pronouncing French names. But the artist, and the reason I bought it is because I love her stuff, and the artist is Julie Rouvière, I believe is how you say it. I'm not positive, but she is on, I follow her on Instagram. I follow her. She's got these beautiful mixed media sketchbooks, and everything looks like fairy tales. And I've fawned over her work forever. And so when I saw that Sticky Club had her stickers, I got the full set. And so I had been holding on to them and just looking at them. And as we all know in this stationery world, you get more stationery, you get more stickers, and then you have so many you don't know what to do with. And in this moment, I decided, no, I'm going to use my stuff. That has been my thing. Rather than acclimating and getting more, I am really trying to use my stuff. So I thought, I'm going to use these castle stickers from her. And I did. And I used this one. And this is my castle. Like, it really helped me as I was creating my character. So she is Princess Gray of Crescent Hollow. And she was born to the king and queen of Crescent Hollow. Our kingdom is isolated within a mountainside. So it's kind of very Frozen-esque. And the reason I thought of it was this. This is what inspired me. This seems very cold, and it seems like it could be up north in the cold. And so I came up with her character name is Gray because I did some in here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. It was really hard for me to find it the first time. Right, yeah, right here. My name, Princess. So I rolled a 20-sided dice, and I got 19, Sage or Gray. And I thought Sage doesn't feel like this castle, so I did Gray. And then I got Crescent, and then I just picked this because I didn't like what I got. I think I got, like, I don't know, I can't remember. I think Crossing, and I thought, no, I like Hollow better. So I did Crescent Hollow. And what was really funny is that she had character sheets that we could use, and the character sheet that I had kind of based my type of person off of her. She was also from Crescent Hollow. So that worked out. I just changed her name. So her mother named her Gray because her dad's name is Ash. And so it's the color of ash. So she has gray hair because her father has gray hair. It's a hereditary thing. I also love it because I painted this princess picture with ink. So this is Pannonia Patina. This one is Sailor Ink Studio 241. And this is the Ugly Duckling. So if you see it, you can see all those colors that the Ugly Duckling has. It's lovely. But yeah, so I still need to finish our adventure, but I just talked about her backstory, and that's all her backstory. And we kind of came up with their backstories as we were playing, and then started our first adventure. And our first adventure is in a cave under a tree, which is really cool. And we just ran into goblins, and that's where we stopped. And I'm very excited to keep going. And I'm having such a good time. But it takes a little bit to like build your character and come up with it when you didn't create your character before. So we are figuring that out. But yeah, this is Princess Gray, and I'm very excited. I will keep you all updated on this. This is one that I don't think I would solo. This is one, maybe if I continue on and I want to keep going with Gray, I might take her into another game, but I don't think I could solo this. So I don't think I will make an actual video on Perils and Princesses for my solo RPG series. But I just want to share that this is a way that you can use your stationery. If you have friends and you like to tabletop, then go home and I'm working on this and I get to bring it next time, and it will have all of our adventure. And I will love to see how the other girls also journal, because they're really into stationery and journaling, and we were all doodling, and it was so much fun. So another week, another traveler's notebook update. I'm very excited to update on this always because it's still working. I don't think I've added anything to this. This was my planner for a while. I will say I like having my planner separate from my TNs, but this one as well has just a one page. But I added some stickers to my sticker release paper. I don't know if I did this on camera or not, but I just wanted to show that I've added some more stickers to it. Some Cat Collage Club. This is some from, I got these from Miso Paper, and this is Nettle and Twig, which is still makes me giggle that I was in love with them and bought them from Miso Paper, and then Micah Oatley sent me some Cat Collage Club's owner. And so it was just really fun to see that because it speaks to me. So yeah, so this one is still kind of in the same place, this set. I don't know. I want to really figure out what I want with this second TN. I love this Love and Trip color, and I love having both, but I have found that I just want one sometimes in my purse, so I almost feel like I need to move my sticker release paper over into this one. This one is my I take everywhere with me. And I almost wonder if maybe I should move this cover or, switch all the contents. But I do love this just brown and simple traveler's notebook. It's really starting to look worn and used and getting softer. I haven't had it that long, so it just feels nice. Like I really am enjoying watching it get beat up, which is something funny for me to say because I've never been that way. But I do think that I want to swap this thing out for a paper one. This is one that I got off Amazon. It was like a Moterm, and I wanted to try it before I invested in the good stuff from Traveler's Notebook. I didn't know if I was going to like this system, but I love it. And so this has been my journal. I know I shared these last week, and I know I shared all of this, but and this. So I've only journaled 2 more things in here, but I'm very excited because I'm actually using stickers and washi tape that I've had a long time. And I love that this color, so this is the one thing I did want to say. This is the Ugly Duckling, and I had it in here, and I had moved it from another pen into here, and it is just too light in the platinum. I can reread this, but it's hard, and I don't love how that works. And so I put Tono and Lim's Rainy Winter in here, and then I moved this into my Pelican M605, or M600, not 605, my M600 that I got. And so we'll see how that works. But this was my book review for Bitterthorn. And I want to talk about this because I'm so excited. Not because of the book. I loved the book. But I was trying to figure out my chalk stamp that I had. These ones, the Versa Magic. I have a black one. And it ran out. And it's the one that everybody recommends to use in like the Tomoe River paper and all of that. So it's why I grabbed it. But I don't know how much I love it, to be perfectly honest, because it's just really hard to get off my stamps. And I loved the Rangers archival ink ones. And so I had pulled this out. This is one that I have. I have so many of these archival inks, and I will show you my stamps. So I have multiple colors, and Moo, Brutus. My dogs are playing. 1 second here. So this is my stamp container, and I have, like, this was my book review stamps, so and like the ones that I reach for, but I have all of these, and I have a black one too, but these are the ones that I love. I love these Ranger archival inks because I can color over them. They are waterproof, so I've been able to paint with them and just all the different things. I love these so much. But when I used them in my Archer and Olive notebook, they actually did bleed through to the other side of the page. And so I just had to keep going and trying to find something else. They did that in my Leuchtturm and everything. I'm trying to see if there's any more of them back here. No, oh, these ones are my new Coffee Monsters Co. They came in. I had pre-ordered their old stamp volumes, so I'm very excited about those. But I had all these stamp pads that I love so much, and these are my book stamps. So I ordered these a long time ago off of Etsy, and I think they're from, I can't remember, but I spent a long time trying to find these book stamps. Where's my other one? I had one here. Maybe I put it away. So this one is, this is my e-reader, my e-reader book one. So when I read it from Kindle only, I like to keep track of how I'm reading books. And this one is my audiobook, which is one that is the most used. And then I have all of these. So I know I have my other one because I just had it out. Oh, here it is. My book one. So those are the three, because the three different formats I read through. And then I also had this one, just because I love it. And if I didn't like a book or a DNF'd, that's what I thought I would do with this one when I was tracking my DNFs. And then I have them in a smaller size for smaller sections. It just depends on how I am reading and how I am rating and what I am doing them for. So I have all of these. And then I forget where these came from on Etsy. I am so sorry, because I ordered these a few years ago. And then I had this because I just liked it. And then, oh, here it says it's Merry and Bright. So Merry and Bright, because I ordered all of these, I think, maybe. I think they're all from the same place. But then I ordered this one and this one. So these are my star ratings. And I love the sticker, or I love these stamp sets, but I hadn't used them for a long time because I haven't been doing my book reviews. And so when I moved my book reviews into here and I'm just doing them in my normal journal and doing just a full spread, I was really excited because I got to pull them out. And because I did a test on just a blank Midori page that I have, a scrap sheet, these don't bleed through. And so you can see that. Let me find it again. You can see, because I did, this is all stamp. This is the Coffee Monster Co. stamp, that book. And then here, and this is all a stamp. And if you go back to this page, they didn't bleed through at all. There's a little bit of ghosting, but that's normal with anything. I mean, it's just, I'm very excited. So I get to use my book stamps again on Midori paper. And I'm so excited because I love these stamps. So now I'm really thinking about, do I want to do a reading journal next year? Because I haven't for a while. So I'm very excited to pull these out and play with my stamps again. And I used this one right here. It's kind of off to the side of the screen that you can see. This one right here, my niece last year got me for Christmas. These are from Quirky Cup Co. I think my sister really likes them. So she got me these book stamps, and there's a bunch of them, but these are the ones I pulled out. This was the bigger stars. I wanted that bigger for that page. But this, now I can, because of Jackalope Journals and her suggestion to draw your book covers, I have one that's going to stay uniform, and then I can stay into the confines of this every time I stamp. I'm so excited. Yeah, that is just exciting to me. So I'm very excited that I get to use my stamps again. I loved them. I have fun with stamps, as I think a lot of stationery people do. I just don't love this Versamagic. I did replace my black one. It ran out. It was ran out, and I didn't know if you could buy a refill. And Shauna over at Serial Nana said that you can, but I'm not sure where I would get them. So I just got a new black one, but I think I've used this one once. But anyway, I'm very, very excited, and this made me happy because this little guy has been hanging out alone, all by his lonesome for a few months, and I used to have this sitting out all the time because I read a lot of books, and so I'm very excited about that. That is, yeah, that's all of those. And so I did do a couple doodle pages, I think, in here. No, I only did 2. Did I do 2? So I can show you those. This is what I did. So this one was with this pen, and I need to refill it because it's all out. So we'll do that here. And then this was with my Pilot Vanishing Point that's in a black. This is antique black from Teranishi, and it looks, the color of it when you're writing with it, I wanted to try it out because I'd heard it's good. It looks like a ballpoint pen, and I'm kind of enjoying it. So yeah, I was just doodling and playing around. So I got Moo a new sweater, so I drew her all together. This is one of her favorite toys. She brings me all the time. It's a little bat from the Bark subscription. So we got the Bark subscription for her, and we get the super tough chew toys because she destroys toys so fast compared to my other dog. My other dog doesn't play with toys. So that's one thing that we do, and then we don't buy toys for the rest of the month. She gets 3 new toys a month, and then we let them go when they're done, because she would destroy our house. She destroyed multiple pairs of shoes, everything. So they're really nice, and she will bring them to you and then like wag her little butt tail, and it's really cute. But love my dog. Okay, so what am I currently reading? Since we just talked about books, I want to segue into my currently reads. I read The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook, and there were parts of it that I really liked. And then I thought, I like her writing, but I want something different. And this I bought from Blackwell's, I think 2 years ago. When did this release? It might have been last year. No, it was in 2022. So I bought this. Yeah, I bought this 2 years ago and sat on my shelf. This is a Gothic novel set in, I think it's set in Ireland or set somewhere, but it is a book. I don't know. It feels like Grady Hendrix's Wayward Witches, but it's basically like a home for women who are expecting, that are unmarried back in the 60s and 70s. But there's also some kind of weird ghost woods, and weird things are happening, and there's 2 storylines. I'm about 100 pages into it, but every morning for, I think since I finished Artist's Way, I tried to keep up my morning pages after Artist's Way, because that's the kind of thing you wake up and you write. I tried 75 hard and discovered that 75 hard was not for me. I am not a broseph. I will say that. But I liked that they had the 10 pages of a book, and I would get up every morning and read 10 pages in a nonfiction book. And since leaving that program, I have kept up the reading in the morning. I really like it. I wake up before everyone in my house. I go sit with my dog, and before I even make coffee or anything, I read for 20, 30 minutes. And so that is one of the reasons I have been getting through physical books, and I have so many physical books, nonfiction, fiction, whatever. And so this is what I have been reading since that. And so I am about 100 pages into it. I don't know how I feel. It's one that I'm reading in the morning, so I'm still reading it every day, but I don't want to pick it up. Like the Bitter Thorn, I wanted to pick up all the time, so I finished it in 5 days. This one is, I started it right after I finished Bitter Thorn, and it's taking me a little longer. And I think maybe it will pick up, but I don't know. I don't know, and maybe if this one doesn't work for me, CJ Cook isn't for me, and that's okay. And then the other one I am reading kind of tandemly. So this is my Books. It is basically a Kindle, but it is the Books Color Go Pro. It's an e-reader, or with the e-ink screen, but it's a full tablet. So I'm not just what's the word? I'm not tied just to Amazon. So I still have all my Kindle books because I have the Kindle app, but I can have all sorts of apps. So I've kind of switched. I can get my Hoopla books and everything. So when I had this channel as a booktube channel, I was going to do a video on it, like a full video, but I decided not to because that's not my focus. But I did want to mention that I do have this. This is my e-reader. I love this thing. I love that it has buttons. It's been great. I got this a year ago, and I don't have a Kindle anymore. I gave my Kindle to my mom. So I am reading on here. I'm reading chapter by chapter Frankenstein. And then I am going through Grizz Grimley's Frankenstein. Grizz Grimley is one of my favorite artists. I have loved him since I was a teenager, and he had a line of shirts at Hot Topic, and I was super super angsty and angry in high school. I had a lot of pain, and it came out in expressing myself, which is fine, as people do, and that's why I think I really I'm attracted to horror and everything. But this is his adaptation of Frankenstein. So this is the first page, and it's just beautiful. And so I have read to here because I'm only on chapter 2, and I want to read it as I'm reading it. So it's just it's a beautiful, beautiful book. Grizz Grimley. Maybe other people know him. I hope people do. He's pretty famous. But he's written a lot. He's written children's books. He's written everything. But Sherlock Holmes. I might have to check that one out too. So yeah, Grizz Grimley. Yeah, what has he's done? He's Edgar Allan Poe. And I have his. I do have a bunch. I have his Wicked Nursery Rhymes. Have his art book. But I just love his work. It's watercolor and pen, and it's very much so something that I use as inspiration quite a bit. And so I love it. I love that the Art Nouveau on the cover. So that's what I'm reading right now. And I think I'm reading one other book. Am I reading another book? No. Right now I'm only reading 2, which is not normal for me. I usually reading like 5 or 6 at a time, but that is my reading. Okay, in my endeavor to take hold of my life and not become obsessive over everything and feel like I have to buy everything new for every project. This is a thing with BPD and ADHD, which I have both, so I struggle really hard with these things. I struggle with the compulsion of being obsessive to the point where it's the only thing I can think about, and to the point where I just buy impulsively and compulsively. And I just want to shout out to all of the community members who are really talking about consumption, because it has made me slow down and think about what I am doing and what I am buying, and if it is because I really want it or if I'm being obsessive. I will say that medication and working through therapy is also very helpful. And those are the things that really get me, is my therapy and being with the same therapist for 10 years and finding medications that work so I can slow my brain down. Those are key components to this conversation. And I could not be at this place without those. And I do want to caveat that, because I am not somebody who is of a medical mind, understands. I'm not giving any medical advice like whatsoever. I just wanted to say that, but I do have these things, and I do talk about them. And I want to say that I really appreciate the people who are of a different mindset. I am never going to be a minimalist. And I know that because I love being around things. Things make me feel very safe. And I had a lot of loss in my childhood. And I wanted to caveat all of that. I had a lot of loss in my childhood. I would be gifted things in my life, really nice things. And then when times got really hard, as they always did, I would lose those things because of things like pawn shops and selling and needing money for our life because my parents had problems and they were human, and I totally do not blame them at all. You know, it's just where they were at. But at the same time, it did affect me. And so I, to a point, have to like hold things dear when I get them, to a point of hoarding and an emotional connection. I do make emotional ties to pretty much everything I own because of that. And so I am aware of these things, and these are things that I don't talk about a lot. I just talk about the things that I get. But there's a reason why I am emotionally attached to things, not like beyond a normal person's attachment. And we'll say that. But working through this, I have been very grateful for the conversations that people are having. So I appreciate you. And this is one that has helped because I love to craft and project. And so one of the things I've been talking about is getting back into crocheting. And one of the things I have been crocheting this week is some mittens, because I lose all my gloves and I lose all my mittens. And I thought maybe if I spent the time to make them like I used to make myself gloves all the time, maybe I wouldn't lose them as much or not. But I have been using this beautiful tulip crochet hook. This is crochet. It's going back and forth, and I love the way these mittens are turning out. They're just wonderful. It's all going to be one piece, and then you stitch it together. And I'm loving how it's turning out. And I'm using this. So I have one other skein of this, and this is wool yarn, merino wool yarn that I got last year when I thought I could start crocheting again and then let it sit. And when I thought about doing mittens, I started thinking about colors, and then I started getting online and started shopping for colors when I know under my bed is all my yarn. And I have a lot of it because I go through these phases. I am so sorry if you hear the squeaky toy. For some reason, my dogs are just obnoxiously in a crazy mood, of course. It's not my kids, it's my dogs. I may throw them outside. So yeah, I am going to continue to use what I have. And I love that this is going to be wool. I love mittens because they keep my hands warmer. We get down to negative, just in Fahrenheit, we get down to like -40 in the winters. We cannot go outside. We cannot, because you will get frostbite within minutes. So we go outside to get to our cars and then get it out. So wool is a very important thing for us. And it's getting to that point. We're not that point. That's like February. But right now I want to get prepared for that. And so I'm really enjoying this. It's been nice to sit with my kids, and I can take this anywhere with me, and just because it's just this, I take this anywhere with me, and I'll be done with this hopefully next week so I can show you my mittens. But that's my craft project, and I'm trying to stick to one project. But now I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do this. Just stick to the one project. When you finish this project, then you can move on to the next one. That's what I'm trying to tell myself. It is not always easy, but I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. I'm going to make these mittens. So then there's not a project that's just sitting. My other project is art focused. Since the beginning of this year, I have kind of fallen out of the same art practice that I was in. For many years, I think it was from 2020 or 2021, I was experimenting in so many different ways. I was taking classes. I was jumping from here to there. This is a sketchbook that is from December 2023 to February 2024. So this was only a 2-month sketchbook. So I mean, I filled this whole thing in 2 months, like all of this, which is great. I'm very happy that I did that. Like, this was a challenge Zoom where I drew with Poopy Cat and all of us, because it was a Patreon thing. And this is full. Like, page upon page upon page. I have been going through my sketchbooks lately and redrawing things when I am feeling so inclined. Like this is a page that I did, my son and I did, and I still have all these memories from all of these sketchbook pages. This was Rohrer and Klingner's Emma, the ink was, and then we were using paint, and we were using, like, he would only let me use his Crayola markers and one fountain pen and one pencil. So this was all with him. So I have all these memories in here. Like I can remember sitting and drawing all of this. Like I love all of this, and I miss it. I miss being able to experiment. But even like this was my nephew just like a year ago, but his hair was so long. He has this big mop of hair. His hair is so long it covered his eyes. And he calls my old dog Doog. That dog is his. And so he loves my Brutus, but like his nickname is Doog. But there is just so much in here and so many different styles and experimentations. And this is one sketchbook of all my sketchbooks. Like, oh, I love this. This is, I don't know what this even, I know this is colored pencil on top, but what is this? You know, I miss this. And so I have been wanting to do more of art. And not just fountain pen art. And because I do a lot of fountain pen doodles. And there is nothing wrong with that. It's very valid. It's where I've been at. And I'm okay with that. So I decided that I want to challenge myself. And this one I did film. And there is a video. My art videos do not get that many views, which is just fine. I don't care. I'm doing it to share with those people who are interested. So there is a process. I do have stickers available of this piece, and you can print this piece if you really like it on my KOFI. I did it for like $1 because I just love doing this. But this piece started out as me just painting fountain pen ink with a paintbrush, and then I took my colored pencils and my Neo colors, which are an oil-based crayon pastel, and I just went to town. And it changed and changed and changed. But I did that, and I thought, oh my gosh, I loved that. This is an Arches. This is very expensive. And I thought, again, use the stuff because you have it, and it is sitting in piles everywhere. Use it because otherwise, it's just sitting there being wasteful. And so I decided to use it. And so I then did this. This is these two. This one started out as Sailor Euromeku's one of them. And then I put a JR Bond, and then I went over with colored pencil. And I just used colored pencil on this one because I wanted to challenge myself. And then I did Amamoyoi on this one, and then on top of it, the Oranges Heimdall by Wearing Cool. So I am excited to get in there with this one, and I'm just I've been carving out whatever like comes to me and trying to use those old techniques of different mark making that I have spent years studying, and then so I'm just trying to see if I can keep doing it and build my skills even more and see if I can come up with finished pieces. Like this would be such a cool sticker or postcard or whatever, or anything. Like, I don't know, it's just fun and I love it. It tells a story. There is a story and there is a background to this, but I want to keep that part to myself because I want my viewers to be able to tell the story they need to tell by looking at this. Like I asked my son, I was like, what do you see in this picture? And he came up with a story about what's going on in this house and what's happening. And I love that. So if you feel inclined and you see something in this piece, tell me what you see and what it's making you feel. And just let me know because I'm enjoying that. I'm trying to get better at telling stories, but I just missed my art so much in such a weird way and missed pulling out all my colored pencils and picking different things. And so what I did also decide is that with this little sketchbook, this is a Royal Talons art creation sketchbook. I have a stockpile of these because they're some of my favorites. That blue one I showed you earlier was one. I've done challenges like monthly where I fill this in a month challenge, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I want to do a study of fashion or a person every single day for however long it takes. And so I did one, and all I'm using is a pencil like this. So these are the colored, like they have rainbow. This one I got after this one. And this one is, I think this is my second one of this one. That's why I got this, because this is just a holder for the lead. And I really like that. And then on the back, like most things like this, if you twist this off, this right here works as a sharpener. And so there's a sharpener in there so you can get a really sharp tip. So I am working through this, but my son likes these too. So having two is really important. So I love these because they make such cool lines in different places. And so I did that, and then I went over it with watercolor. And I love how this one turned out. The face on this one did not turn out, and I was mad at it. So I actually wanted to try this out anyway. I've had this Midori corrector tape in cream for a while, and I hadn't used it yet. So I just went over the face because I wanted to try it. And I still don't like the face, but it's fun because, like, this is a sketchbook. This is practice. Like, I want to get back into this, like playing with my other supplies. I have so many art supplies, and I love my art supplies, and I love my sketchbooks. Like, these are things that make me so happy. And I love my journals too. So I need to kind of have a balance. And so I'm trying to figure out the balance right now. And that's I think important to me. So that has been what I have been really working on for the week. I don't know. Like, it's been a crazy week. My husband is very, very lost in his job right now. He's not sure what to do. This is not like us. We are very present in our lives. Our marriage comes first, our family comes first, kind of thing. And he is being required to work until pretty much midnight every night. There was a night this week that he didn't come to bed until 1 a.m. We are a couple that goes to bed at the same time. So it's been very tough. And so I have really felt like I have been a single mom. So this is the stuff that when my kids are at school, I really have been focused on. And with my husband working this much, it's made it so I can't pick up jobs and I can't work. And because the 1 week I did work, it was just awful around here. Like he and I both broke down because it was just too much. So I'm hoping, and we're kind of coming to a turning point and trying to figure out, can he sustain this? Because he kind of got confirmation that it's not going to change and it's just going to keep going, and he's just going to have to keep working this hard forever. And so he may be looking for a different job. So things are just kind of all over the place, and it's stressful for both of us. And so I've just been very much so trying to focus on what brings me joy and what makes me happy. So this is the stuff that does, and I'm very, very happy for it. And so now I want to talk about the things that I'm really grateful about in kind of a journal. I don't know, a little bit of a journal. I'm just kind of grabbing the things that I have around me, and it's fun. And I also want to talk about this. So this is a second pen in the Haute Benu that Benu so kindly sent me because I wanted to compare. They did 5 of these where they're, super glittery, super glitzy, super glammy, and I am off screen. I'm sorry. Super glitzy, super glammy, and this is the flare, and I love the glitter. And there are other ones that have the glitter all over, and then there are 5 of them that are kind of subtly sparkly, and this is one. This is the Lustre, and it is a beautiful pink and orangey brown, which is kind of one of those that is still very, very beautiful, but very subtle. Like if you're looking at a pen, this one looks very, very refined, where this one's still refined because of the colors, but it's just glittery and crazy. And I love that. So I got this one in a fine nib, and I think it's fantastic. The Hautes are super comfortable. I have been working with my new Benus all week, and I picked up a Euphoria the other day. I will tell you, Euphoria is one of my favorite pens. If you have been around, you know that I love my Hot Toddy Euphoria, and you know that I just love my Benus. So I have been really trying to like play with these new ones, the Tessera, the Haute, and the Tribute, and I have found that I actually prefer the new models to the old models. There's nothing wrong with the old models. They are just not as comfortable for me. This one might be, these two might be my most comfortable pens that I have. Some of my most comfortable pens. This is the Tribute. And so they are actually really similar in size. It's just that this one has that square facet and this one is just circular. But they feel like, honestly, these feel the same in the hand. And they're very comfortable. They don't have a big step here. They don't have all of the thickness that the Euphorias have. And I've just been really loving them. And so that has been one of those things that as I've evolved, I'm really trying to make sure that the pens that I have in my collection are pens I love. And I've been trying to get more neutral pens. And this one is still pink, but it does feel neutral because I love my bright, don't get me wrong, I love my bright, happy, bold colored pens, but I get into the mindset that I can only put the same color in them, and I want to be able to use my pens and use them with different colors. So I am being a little bit more like, oh, this is a neutral, this is a beautiful, like this one is still, this is pink, but it's got some other colors, and I feel like I can use a lot of colors in here. It actually has yellow in it. And that is just something that I have noticed about myself, and I'm working on it, these little things, because these pens bring me such great joy. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and sticker with you and kind of go through this and figure things out and play. Very, very happy today that I get to sit here and talk with you all like you are right here with me. And it's been so wonderful because I do feel like the longer I'm in this community, I am making friends and people that I want to be able to sit down with and have chats with. Tomorrow, I get to sew online with people. I haven't sewn since I closed my business, like except for my friend's wedding dress. I did make my friend her wedding dress, and that was really tough on me. But I did it because I love her. And then I thought never again, because there were so many emotions, and I'm still feeling emotions, and I'm still emotional about all the things that my business I basically just shut down because I had basically a mental breakdown. And I am a very gifted seamstress. I spent years doing this. So I'm so excited because I want to, what was it that I want to sew up? A doll. I want to make a doll, which is so healing for me in so many different ways that eventually maybe I'll explain, but I'm very excited about it. And it's because somebody on our Discord channel, Simona's Discord channel, said, hey, can we do a sewing date? And I said, yes, oh my gosh, I need to. And so I'm really excited that it kind of was like this serendipitous. I was looking at these beautiful sewing patterns and it worked out. And I am just kind of coming up with whatever I'm doing here. I'm feeling like if I'm feeling this sticker, I'm putting it on because I want to use my stuff and I want to decorate. These stickers, these fawn stickers, I found when I cleaned out my bedroom a couple weeks ago, and they were in one of the stacks of my Archer and Olive notebooks, and they were from Archer and Olive, so I've had them, I don't know how long, when this one came out, but I've had them a while, long enough that they got under a stack of notebooks. So I'm using my stuff, and I'm feeling really good about it. And I like that these all kind of look cute together. So it is November the 15th. Oh my gosh. And this is Charleston. This was actually in my currently inked, so that's kind of fun. I've been practicing my letters and it's so much fun. Yeah. It's also really wonderful to look back on all these memories, even in my sketchbooks and my journals, and see how far I've come, because I've done a lot of healing in my life. And so I love that. And I just, yeah, I come from many places of pain, and there's so much beauty in this world. I'm very happy that I get to be at this place where I can share that I've been through pain and I've been through it. And I mean, there will be pain. I mean, I lost my dad just a few months ago, and so there is pain, but I'm able to handle that in such a different way than I ever have been able to in my past. So I'm really grateful that I get to spend some time with you guys. Yeah. So this I put Van Diemen's Swan Lake in because I love this ink, and I just wanted it in a pen. It's a very light ink, but it's so pretty, and every single line shimmers. And so this one I want to use as like, what do you call it? An accent. So this, yeah, and this is my Benu Haute Lustre. And yeah, I love my Benu so much. And yeah, I don't know. Benu has been good to me as well. They are just a wonderful company. I love what they're doing. So yeah, I just want to show you how pretty this shimmer is. Look at all that shimmer in there. That is so much shimmer. And I have not had, at least with this one, because I've had Swan Lake in pens before, I've not had any problems with clogging. I have had problems with readability, especially because, can you see that shimmer? I don't know if you can there. Look at how much shimmer's in that. And it is a very light pink, but it is so pretty. I had just a sample of it last year from Van Ness, and I had to buy a full bottle. And so every once in a while, when I'm feeling a little bit of wanting to have some glitter in my life, I have to pull it out. And so, yeah, I do love, with all that I've talked about this morning, I do still love just doodling with my pens. And that is why I have done it so much this year, is because I love it. It is so much fun to take this little instrument that I have and use my creativity in almost like marries my hobbies, because I also love writing. I mean, I do have my degree in English. I do love writing books, or well, writing. I write more nonfiction than I do anything. Creative nonfiction is probably what I would have gotten my master's in if I would have continued that way. My friend has her PhD in creative nonfiction, which is really awesome. But that's the way, that was the route that I was going. But I ultimately decided that I didn't want to do more school. It took me a long time to get through my undergrad. And then the world has kind of changed in academia. So it's kind of hard to justify going to school that long and then having a degree that you can really only teach in colleges. And it's very hard. It's very hard in colleges right now. So that is a little bit of history of that. So I feel like all of these hobbies marry each other, which is really fun, because I can have phases of doing just fountain pen, but I can also have phases where I really experiment and play with all my other supplies that I love so much. I love my Neocolors. I love my colored pencils. And I have been using my colored pencils in here with sketches. So it's been a lot of fun too that way. But I have just been enjoying this. And so, yeah. So there's that. I also just love this ink. This is Charleston by Octopus, but now I can go in here and color in this. And this is my biggest reason I love this ink so much, is that I use it a lot of here to color things. And so I have one journal where I had a cute little girl I drew in the journal, and she's got like a shirt colored in with the Glass Bead Game by Wearing Ghoul, and then her skirt was this, and then she had some blue, and oh, I just love it. I'd have to pull out and figure out which journal it's in because it was a while ago, but I do love this ink. So that was, I was feeling that. So yeah. And then she's got, look at that. That's so much fun. I can do her little blush right there with that, and maybe some lines here. And that is the big thing that I love to do, is just like accents in my doodles and coloring things in, and yeah, do a couple of my little easy roses. And I will come back and, you know, fill in this page later with like thoughts throughout the day and whatnot. But I'm really loving being able to have like a smaller creative journal like this size, and then having my morning pages too, where if I really want to be creative in the morning, I can, but I also have that outlet in a way through here. Yeah. And hopefully, if you're paying attention in later videos that are coming out later this month, you'll recognize her later. So this is kind of like a teaser for the people who watch a lot of my videos. You'll see some continuity, which is fun. I've been thinking about little things that I can do that way. I don't know why. It seems like a fun idea. It may not last long, but at least we'll have that. Remember that one season where you did all of that? Yes, I do. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd, quite honestly, I will say, I don't know if I'd want to do a whole journal page in Swan Lake. That might be hard on my eyes, but I do love how glittery it is. I love to do accents like this. And I love this pen. These Benus, these are definitely, when you look at even just the build quality, Benu is upping their game in a lot of ways. This resin is just so nice. It has so many different facets. Like this is very subtle compared to this. When you look even at the colors in the resin. And I love this one too. This is my Celine that's newer, but this one has such beautiful colors too. And it was really wonderful. I know I mentioned in my unboxing video for this one that it was replacing my Cinderella pen, and my sister last night saw this pen. She goes, "Oh my gosh, that's a Cinderella pen." I'm like, yeah, except that it's Sailor Moon and Cinderella. But yeah, and I think I have Kangyu in here, I think, or Kikyo. I don't know, but I'm not going to put it on here because I really like the color scheme that I have right here. And so, yeah, anyway, that is about it for today. I am so grateful that you are all here with me and that you come every Saturday to enjoy just chatting with me about my week, about what's going on in my journaling life. I'd love to hear what's going on in your journaling life. What's happening right now? Like, are you working through some things mentally? Are you working through some things like with your journal supplies? Are you enjoying your journal supplies? Do you have a journal supply that you have sat on because it's special and you need to just use it? Because let me tell you, in the last couple weeks when I have been just using the stuff, it has been so freeing and it has been so wonderful. And it's one of those things where you're like, oh yes, I love this supply. And that scarcity mindset of I'm never going to get this again does hit me even with like the inks that I love, but then I remember now that I've been doing this long enough, if you sit there on it, it's eventually going to go bad. I've had samples that I had for a couple of years that did go bad. And I'm like, well, I'd rather use it now than have it go bad on me. But also, you might find something later you like even more. And then you can remember this was a time where I really loved this. And I used it because it was something I had and I loved. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm thinking about. And so without all of you that are doing that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. So I'm really grateful for this community and I'm really grateful for you. So that is the big thing that I wanted to say today. And thank you so much for watching. All the links for all the things that I talked about may be in my description. I do know that my Benus are in the description, like the Benus where you can get those. And some of this stuff, like I don't even know if the Quirky Cup Collective has this anymore, but Archer and Olive still doesn't have these stickers anymore. I got that from Venice. I got the inks from Venice, kind of stuff. So they're there. I have an Atlas code, whatever. I try to remember to say this stuff because I am grateful for when you guys use my stuff and use my codes, but I'm more grateful for having you as a community member. So just so you know that. I'm very grateful for what this has enriched my life. And yeah, I'm just grateful today. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.